I was flattered. I think that's the ultimate thing as an actor, to be asked to be a part of movies like this and these type of guys and this type of cast, and to have, you know, go do this with a Brolin, a Connelly, Bridges, Teller, Badge. I mean, I was flattered and honored to be a part of.
Yeah, and Joe Kosinski was very passionate about this story, you know, and so, you know, he's a shooter. He's a great visual director, but you know, what he was able to do with this cast and this story was to breathe life into it, and you know, it's a real privilege to be part of this one.
And it's got to be tough, man. You know, you're dealing with 20 guys plus the, you know, Connelly and Bridges as, you know, these variables that are huge variables in the movie, and it's like that balance that he managed so well, and obviously such different characters, that he really did take the time to sit in with the Mackenzies, sit in with the Steeds, sit in with the, you know, these things and this brotherhood that drives it. And he realized that from day one, and I think he did an exceptional job.
Hotshot is a term for Tier 1 firefighting crew. So there's only about 107 Tier 1 crews in this country, and they're the ones who directly engage the fire. Tier 2 crews have a different job, but these guys worked so hard. They were the first city municipal to have their own Tier 1 crew, and these guys had to work harder than everyone else. These guys had to put in more hours, and you know, they earned a reputation as a hard-working crew, and you know, that's what our story is about. It's about that process of them becoming Granite Mountain Hotshots.
We had hotshots that had worked with and had fought these wildfires with the Mackenzies and the Steeds and the McDonoughs, and so they're invaluable. They're incredible, you know. They led in their way as well of just really trying to give us as much info as we could assimilate at one time. But most importantly, you know, giving us who Mackenzie was, you know, the spirit of these guys. You know, the practical part is that is the practical part of it. You don't want to be thinking about that while you're doing a scene, you know. So I think they shed light most importantly on the actual guys that fought these fires.
These guys were their friends. They were all friends. They knew each other, and this story meant something to these guys. So, you know, when you have Pat McCarty come in, when you have Brandon Bunch, when you have Brendan McDonough on set with you, this story means something to them personally, and so that means that in itself means a lot to us, and so we want to give to that. You know, we want to give 110% in what we do. That dude would show up to work every day and be like, "Let's go, guys! Come on, man! How are you, brother? I love you." I mean, he was so passionate about this job and loved these guys, this story. But what was amazing to us was how much love he would treat us, you know. And he made it a special experience from day one. And you know, you see a guy like that working that hard and doing it with that attitude, man. You better toe the line right up there with him.
Yeah, I mean, it was, again, going back to McCarty and these other hotshots that had trained with these guys and had fought with these guys, so it was more of just the practical sense of learning how to fight fires, you know, digging line, anchor points, you know, calling in air fire retardant drops to, I mean, everything from literally, like, the food that they take up and how much food they can stay up in the mountain at one point without coming back to base camp, to the tools, to, you know, fighting fire with fire, what it is to be in the black to the green, and why you fight it certain ways and why you have to let it run its course in certain areas before you anchor into a point. So it's just like, it's an incredible, it's an art form, to be honest.
I was so struck by how present these guys were in their lives. how present they were up on the line, but how present they were off the line. Jesse Steed's wife would talk about him, how he would go and work 16 hours a day and then come home, and it was as if he hadn't spent 16 hours up there. He was that present, that giving, that loving to his family, to his children. You know, Mackenzie was the same way. Mm-hmm. You know, he was a wild, fun-loving guy who was he was a brother, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, that's what it's about, is that brotherhood. You know, if we don't have that in spades in this film, this movie just isn't this movie at all, and you don't have the, you know, right tribute that this movie deserves. Hey, I'm Taylor Kitsch.
I'm James Badgedale.
And I want to thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and man, be safe.
Go get your Smokey on.
I mean, I'll leave that up to the audience.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna take what they will. I think the most important thing for us is that the families are happy and you know, they thank us for this, and the first responders, obviously, but
you know,
truly it's about the families and the legacy that these guys left.
Yeah, this is a big thank you to them, and it's a celebration of the way these guys lived and their work, and also the sacrifices that their families make.